Let me ask you a question. Do you know what it actually costs your business every time an employee walks out the door? Not a guess, not a feeling, the actual number. Most business owners don't, and that's exactly the problem. Because turnover isn't just frustrating, it's one of the most expensive things happening in your business right now, and most of the cost is completely invisible on your financial statements. Today, we're talking about the hidden cost of employee turnover and why what you can't see is often what hurts the most. Hi, I'm Heather, founder of Piper HR Solutions. I've spent more than 25 years in human resources watching organizations pour money into recruiting while paying very little attention to why people keep leaving in the first place. Every departure creates a ripple effect that goes far beyond the cost of a job posting. Let's talk about what turnover is really costing you. Cost 1, recruiting costs. The moment an employee gives notice, the clock starts running. Job postings, resume reviews, phone screens, interviews, background checks, offer letters, administrative work. Even without a recruiter, this process takes significant time from the people running it. And time is money. Cost number 2, lost productivity. Here's one that rarely shows up on a spreadsheet. The moment an employee decides to leave, their productivity often starts declining before they ever hand in their notice. They're mentally checked out, going through the motions, maybe quietly job searching on their lunch break. And then when they're gone, work gets delayed, projects stall, remaining team members absorb responsibilities they weren't hired to carry. The gap between one employee leaving and a new employee becoming fully productive can stretch weeks, sometimes months. That gap is costing you every single day. Cost number 3, training and onboarding. New employees don't hit the ground running. They need training, coaching, onboarding, mentorship, time. And here's the part that often gets missed. All of that support comes from your existing team. Your experienced employees are now splitting their time between their own responsibilities and getting someone else up to speed. Every turnover event resets the learning curve, and every reset costs you productivity, time, and energy from the people you can least afford to distract. Cost number 4, the knowledge that walks out the door. This one is the hardest to put a number on, and often the most damaging. I've seen businesses lose a long-term employee and suddenly realize that nobody else knew how a critical system worked. Nobody else had the relationship with that key customer. Nobody else understood why a certain process existed. Nobody else knew the history behind a decision that was still affecting the team. Some knowledge can be documented, but some knowledge only exists in the minds of the people who built your business with you. When they leave, they take it with them. Cost number 5, the impact on the team left behind. When a strong performer leaves, the rest of the team notices, and they start asking questions. Why did they leave? Was it something about this place? How long before things get better? Should I start looking too? High turnover, especially when it's the good ones leaving, creates uncertainty. It signals to your remaining employees something might be wrong. And if they start believing that, you won't just lose one employee, you'll lose several. Cost number 6, customer impact. In most businesses, employees don't just do a job. They build relationships. They know the customer who likes to be called back before noon. They know the client who had a bad experience 6 months ago and needs extra care. They know how to handle the situations that never make it onto a training manual. When those employees leave, those relationships often leave with them. Customer service suffers. Response time slow. Consistency breaks down. And in the world where customer experience drives loyalty, that's a cost that shows up in your revenue. Here's the thing about turnover that most business owners miss. Turnover is rarely the problem. It's a symptom of something happening inside the organization that isn't being addressed. Poor leadership, lack of communication, no growth opportunities, burnout, a culture that doesn't match what was promised in the interview. The businesses that keep replacing employees without asking why employees are leaving are going to keep replacing employees. The real question isn't, how do we fill this role faster? Why do people keep leaving? And what are we doing about it? Retention doesn't start with a retention strategy. It starts day one. Strong onboarding that makes new employees feel like they made the right choice. Clear expectations so nobody is guessing what success looks like. Growth opportunities so employees can see a future with you. Recognition that reminds people their contributions matter. Consistent leadership that builds trust over time. Employees don't leave great workplaces. They leave places where they feel invisible, undervalued, and stuck. Studies suggest that replacing an employee can cost anywhere from 50% to 200% of their annual salary, depending on the role. Now think about what that number means for your business. Now think about what it would mean if you invested even a fraction of that into keeping the great people you already have. If turnover is happening in your organization, don't just focus on replacing the seat. Focus on understanding the story behind why it's empty. That's where the real answer lives. Hi, I'm Heather, founder of Piper HR Solutions, rooted in people, building strong foundations. If this video was helpful, subscribe for more practical HR, leadership, and workplace insights, and share this with a business owner who needs to see the numbers.